The history of cocaine, from sacred leaf to global crisis. For thousands of years, a small green leaf grew quietly along the slopes of the Andes Mountains. It was chewed, brewed, respected, even worshipped. No wars were fought over it, no empires collapsed because of it, no cartels ruled because of it. That leaf was coca. Today, the substance derived from it, cocaine, is one of the most controversial and destructive drugs in human history. It has shaped global politics, fueled violence, corrupted governments, and altered entire societies. But cocaine did not begin as a criminal enterprise. Its story is older, stranger, and far more complicated than most people realize. This is the long history of cocaine. From a sacred plant, to a medical miracle, to a cultural obsession, to a global crisis.
Long before the word cocaine existed, indigenous peoples of South America cultivated the coca plant. Archaeological evidence shows coca use stretching back at least 8,000 years. For the Inca and pre-Inca civilizations, coca was not a drug. It was medicine, nutrition, and religion combined. Coca leaves were chewed slowly, often mixed with alkaline ash to release their mild stimulant properties. This helped reduce hunger, fight fatigue, and cope with high-altitude environments where oxygen is scarce. It eased pain, it aided digestion, it helped workers endure long hours in harsh conditions. Spiritually, coca held deep meaning. It was used in rituals, offerings, and ceremonies. The leaf symbolized life, connection to the earth, and communication with the divine. Importantly, this was not cocaine as we know it today. The natural coca leaf contains only trace amounts of cocaine alkaloids. Chewing it produces a gentle stimulation, closer to coffee than anything resembling a modern narcotic. For thousands of years, coca existed in balance with the cultures that used it. That balance would not survive contact with Europe. When Spanish conquistadors arrived in South America in the 16th century, they initially viewed coca with suspicion. The leaf was associated with indigenous religion, which colonial authorities tried aggressively to suppress. But that attitude changed quickly. The Spanish noticed something important. Indigenous laborers working in mines could work longer, harder, and with fewer complaints when chewing coca. Especially in massive silver mines like those at Potosi, coca became a tool of exploitation. Colonial rulers did not embrace coca spiritually, they embraced it economically. Coca use was encouraged among forced laborers. The leaf became taxed and regulated. Entire supply chains were built to keep workers productive under brutal conditions. What had once been sacred was now industrialized. Still, coca remained largely local. It did not yet conquer the world. That would come later, through chemistry. In the mid-19th century, European scientists became fascinated with isolating active compounds from plants. In 1860, a German chemist successfully extracted a pure alkaloid from coca leaves. He named it cocaine. This was a turning point. Unlike the slow, mild effects of chewing coca leaves, purified cocaine was fast-acting and powerful. Doctors and researchers were immediately intrigued. Cocaine was hailed as a medical breakthrough. It was used as a local anesthetic, one of the first effective ones ever discovered. Surgeons could now perform procedures without fully sedating patients. It was prescribed for pain, depression, anxiety, fatigue, and even morphine addiction. Medical journals praised it. Pharmaceutical companies marketed it. Cocaine quickly moved from laboratory curiosity to commercial product. And then it entered popular culture. By the late 19th century, cocaine was everywhere. It appeared in tonics, elixirs, wines, lozenges, cigarettes, and syrups. There were no prescription laws, no warning labels, no stigma. Advertisements promised energy, focus, confidence, and vitality. Even respected public figures openly endorsed cocaine-based products. Some beverages contained small amounts of coca extract. Some medicines combined cocaine with alcohol, a mixture now known to be especially dangerous. At this stage, society largely viewed cocaine as modern, scientific, and sophisticated. But cracks were beginning to show. Doctors noticed dependency. Patients demanded higher doses. Reports of erratic behavior surfaced. The miracle drug was revealing a darker side. As cocaine use spread, so did problems. Medical literature began documenting paranoia, hallucinations, heart issues, and psychological dependence. What made cocaine especially dangerous was its short, intense high, which encouraged repeated use. Unlike alcohol or opium, cocaine created cycles of binging followed by sudden crash. Public perception began to shift. Sensational news stories, often racially charged, portrayed cocaine as a cause of violence and moral decay. Many of these stories exaggerated or distorted reality, but they fueled fear. Governments responded. In the early 20th century, regulations began to appear. Cocaine was restricted, taxed, and eventually criminalized. By the 1920s, what had once been legal medicine was becoming an illicit substance. Cocaine moved underground. For several decades, cocaine use declined. It survived quietly among small circles, artists, musicians, and certain elite social groups. It lacked the mass visibility of alcohol or the devastation of heroin epidemics. But behind the scenes, something was changing. Global transportation improved. Chemical processing became easier. Demand slowly crept back. By the 1970s, cocaine was ready for a comeback, and this time it would return bigger and far more violent. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, cocaine exploded into mainstream culture once again. This era framed cocaine as glamorous, a symbol of wealth, power, and excess. Unlike earlier periods, production and trafficking were now controlled by organized criminal networks. Coca cultivation expanded. Processing laboratories multiplied. Smuggling routes stretched across continents. Entire regions became economically dependent on the cocaine trade. Violence escalated. Governments struggled to contain the flow. Law enforcement agencies expanded dramatically. Prisons filled. At the same time, cocaine's cheaper, smokable derivative appeared, crack cocaine, devastating already vulnerable communities. The drug that once symbolized elite indulgence now symbolized urban collapse. Today, cocaine remains illegal in most of the world. Its production fuels environmental destruction, political instability, and violence. Its consumption continues to cause addiction, health crises, and social harm. Yet the coca leaf itself still exists, still chewed, still respected in parts of South America. A reminder that the story of cocaine is not just about a drug. It is about how societies transform substances, how economics reshape culture, how science, greed, and demand can turn a sacred plant into a global crisis. Cocaine's history is not a straight line from evil to enlightenment. It is a cycle of discovery, misuse, regulation, and consequence. And it is a reminder that the most dangerous substances in history often begin as something ordinary, even sacred. The story of cocaine is not finished. It continues to evolve, shaped by policy, culture, economics, and human behavior. Understanding its past does not excuse its harm. But without understanding where it came from, we never truly understand where we are.
Be a stranger than you think. From forgotten battles to bizarre inventions, we uncover the stories that make you say, "What the history?"